In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can build an e-commerce product recommendation chatbot within Facebook Messenger as well as Instagram. To build this, I'm going to be using Voiceflow, I'm going to be using ManyChat, and I'm going to be using make.com to make this all work. The setup is quite similar on the Voiceflow end to the product recommendation chatbot that I built out in a previous video. We're essentially taking that system and converting it into a Facebook Messenger and Instagram supported system. So you're going to be able to ask this bot some pretty good questions such as, I want a red bag, or I want a blue bag, or even you want a bag for the beach. It's going to identify what they're looking for and it's going to provide the products that they're looking for. Now I'm going to be providing all of these templates of Voiceflow, ManyChat, and Make templates at the end of the video for completely free. Firstly, I'm going to go through exactly how I built out the Voiceflow template and move on from there. So to begin the Voiceflow template, we're essentially starting off with a captcha to the last utterance. The reason we need to do this is because ManyChat and the template that I'm using requires you to captcha right away and send that first message. So unfortunately, we can't do a proactive message when they launch the chat in Instagram or Facebook Messenger. They do have to say a message first for it to initiate the product recommendation system. So it's going to answer the first message, which they've just sent with a response AI, simply just saying to answer the question with just like that. It's then going to say, please tell me the bag you would like. For example, I want a bag for the beach. So that's what's popped up in that demo. And then it's going to say, what are you looking for? So we're going to capture the user reply to AI question. And that is going to send over to set Airtable URL. So if you're familiar with a couple of my previous videos, this is the similar system where we're generating an Airtable formula and we're sending that Airtable formula to Airtable to pull back a set of results, whether that's products or properties. It can be really anything. So we're going to set Airtable URL. We are grabbing our Airtable URL, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can get that as well. So this is an Airtable base. So essentially you're going to be able to copy this directly from my link that I provide you with. You're going to be able to click copy and it's going to just paste it into your Airtable like this. All you got to do is make an account. You can do this for free and you're going to be able to get my data here. What you need to do is go ahead and hit this button over here where your profile picture is and hit the Developer Hub button. What you need to do is click Create New Token because we need to create an API key so that we can access this through Voiceflow. So give it a name if you want to just name it social media bot, or doesn't really matter, can be any name you'd like. And we need to go through and add every single scope here. And so we're just making sure that we're covering all the permissions possible and we're leaving nothing blocked out. We're going to click add a base and just go ahead and add the EcoWare products list. That's the one that you've just copied. So hit create token. I'm not going to do it since I've already done it, but it will just prompt you with a key. Now make sure to save that key because you're going to need it for later. So once you've done this, you're going to land on a page just like this. You need to go over to the Web API documentation button. You're going to land on this page and just hit the EcoWare product list CSV. You're going to need to scroll down until you get to list imported table records. And you're going to need to copy all the way up into just before the slash imported. So this 0/imported, grab from here. So go ahead and copy that link, go back to Voiceflow and paste it into the Airtable URL variable set function right here. We're then going to go to the number of responses. And so that's currently set to 4. Now this is how many products we want to show at max. So I've set it to 4. This whole system is set up to 4. You can increase this if you want. So just if you watch the video, you'll understand how it works and you're able to increase this to however many you want and have as many products come through as you want. Now, this is one of the most important things of this system. We're generating an Airtable query that we're going to be using to get the right products back. So what I've put in here is essentially just saying you need to create an Airtable query that is valid and that works. We've put in the AI question variable that we've grabbed from here where it's set to AI question. So it knows what question we're asking. And this big formula is essentially just saying, create an Airtable query that is using the category of the product, the color of the product. You can add a lot more than this. This is just for demonstration. And it's going to be able to generate a formula. And so just to give you an example of what the formula looks like, I've got it on the screen here. Essentially, the input says, do you sell any red backpacks? And we're giving it the example to say, if they are asking if they sell any red backpacks, we're going to give them the color red and the category backpack. And so we're just giving the AI and structuring it to give us the right result. And the AI will output exactly what this assistant example is outputting. So you're going to get access to this with this free template that I'm going to be releasing. And so you're going to be able to just copy and paste this directly. It's then going to move to an Airtable logic flow where it says no valid query. The reason that that's set up is because we've prompted it to say, if there's no valid query, say there's no valid query, just to make sure we're not making any incorrect queries to Airtable with the wrong products. And so if that's the case, it's just going to run into an error. That shouldn't happen though. Once it hits the else, it will continue going, where we're actually making that Airtable API call. So what you need to do is you need to add your bearer key, and that is the key that we saved just earlier from Airtable. And we just need to paste that into here, just like this. So you got to type bearer space and then paste it in. From here, we're saving the response, that response from Airtable, from the Airtable API request into the AI output variable. From here, we need to set this into a set of variables. So we're getting this data back, but it's just in a big chunk of text, which is a JSON format. And so we're able to dissect this into variables. And we're able to do that using some quick little JavaScript code. And so this JavaScript code is just listing out the several categories that are stored in the Airtable data. And this is going to be available in the template, so you can get access to this, but essentially it is just going to be looking through that JSON and pulling out the product name, the category, price, description, material, and all these, and setting it to a set of variables. So once we've done that, we just need to go to the second block where we're actually setting the variables. And I've got price, name, image, color, and the product count. And we're essentially just saying, with that formatted response that's just come from here, set it to the name, the image, or the color. And given that we're going to be pulling 4 products, I've got 4 JavaScripts here to save name print, and then name print 1, name print 2, name print 3. And so that's 4 products that we're going to be able to store all the data for. So once you've got that going, essentially we're just going to be checking, we're going to be setting the variables within ManyChat via make. So we're going to take those variables that we've just saved for each product, and we're going to be using make.com to send those variables into ManyChat. So we can send variables into ManyChat and use those variables in ManyChat to store the image URL and the name, as well as the price and everything we need, so that we can relay that data back in ManyChat. So firstly, I'm just checking if the product count is equal to 26. Now the reason I've set that up is because I had a little bit of an error where it would continually start saying 26 for some reason, rather than the 4 products that it should have. So if it is set to 26, it'll essentially just set it to 4 and then keep continuing. Otherwise, it'll just go straight to the make. So what happens is make, we've set the webhook URL. The webhook URL comes from this webhook that's in make. This template will be available for completely free in the description as well. Hit copy address to clipboard and put that post request URL right up here. Then what we've done is we've just stored all of the data that we're going to be using in the body. So product name, then we've got product 2, product 3, and so that's 4 products that we've all stored here. This is a bit time consuming, so you're going to be able to get access to this in my template, and so I'm going to use all this for free. So I'm going to go a little bit more into the make.com template. So essentially once we've made that request, what we've done is we've sent all that data from Voiceflow into make. So you can see here, what we've got is essentially 4 little tabs for each product. So we've got these 4, and then we've got these, and then these, and then these. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 products. And we're going to be storing the name, price, image count, and then the name, price, image, and so on. So firstly, what we're going to be seeing here is a ManyChat key. Now this ManyChat key is going to be coming from Voiceflow. So in Voiceflow, what I've added in here is ManyChat key, and that's just a variable that's stored within Voiceflow anyway. So you just put user ID. That's a global variable. You don't have to do anything with that. It's already done for you. So just put ManyChat key and then user ID. That's going to come through to here, and you just need to add that ManyChat key here. Now in ManyChat, I've created a whole set of variables that I'm then going to be using now. So all these variables here were created in ManyChat. So So I'm just going to quickly show you how I created those variables within ManyChat. Essentially, what you got to do is go to your settings. You need to go down to the fields tab, and you need to go into your project. Now this ManyChat template that I have has been essentially a modified version of the template created by OmniFusion. So OmniFusion created a very good Instagram and Messenger template that I'm essentially modifying for the use case of this e-commerce bot. So I'm going to provide a link to their channel as well in the description if you want to check those guys out. So essentially what I've gone and done is hit new user field, and I've created all of these variables here. And so that just is the product image 1, 2, 3, product name 1, 2, 3, price 1, 2, 3, and essentially that's it, product count as well. And so you're going to get access to this with my template that I provide you with. So what happens is when we connect it to ManyChat and we log into our ManyChat account, we're then going to get given all of those variables that we just saved, all those fields we just saved, and we're going to be able to store that Voiceflow data with each. So hopefully that makes sense. We're essentially just going to be going name, price, image, count. And then what we've got right here is a little condition. So we obviously have stored the product count, but we want to make sure that we're not setting the variables for products that don't exist or products we haven't pulled back. So we're saying check if there is more than one product. So if there's more than one product, it means we have to go again and grab the next set of products. And now we're saying if there's more than 2 products, then we got to grab the third set of products. And so product count is come from Voiceflow once again. That's the variable that we stored in that first little bit of JavaScript. And then if there's more than 3 products, then there's obviously 4 products, and we just save that there. What I do have is a little sleep tool. So there was a little bit of an error where if you run all of these requests at once, it was a bit too much for ManyChat to handle. And so if you just put in a tool sleep, it slows it down. I've got a set to a 5-second delay. So it just waits 5 seconds and then it will start running these, and it has worked perfectly fine just by adding that in. So once you've got this ManyChat make.com scenario set up, you're going to be able to go into ManyChat and set up the automation from here. So with the Instagram template, this is essentially the exact same as the Messenger template. So I won't necessarily go through that because it's essentially the same. You just got to click on Messenger rather than Instagram. So what you'll see is user sends a direct message. So that just means once they've sent a message, it's going to start activating this flow. What you'll see here is we're setting all of these variables. The reason we're doing this is that we're resetting all of the products back to 0. So when they do ask for another product recommendation, it's not going to give them the old products. What we're doing is we're setting the last reply, creating a field called last reply. And this is just something that we need to track throughout. OmniFusion, people who made essentially this flow right here, we'll go in that in a little bit more detail. And then checking if the user exists. So this just means we're looking at that user ID. And so this is contact ID. This is a variable that's a ManyChat variable. But what we're doing is we're creating the user ID into Voiceflow. So hopefully that makes sense. Essentially, in ManyChat, we're creating the user ID. And that ManyChat user ID initiates a conversation within Voiceflow. And so in Voiceflow, this user ID that's stored here is actually being generated by ManyChat originally. But because this whole conversation, when it's triggered, when you hit start, it's been triggered by that ManyChat right here. So it's been triggered. And when that triggers, it is automatically doing that user ID. So that's why we're able to put this user ID or contact ID at the end here, and that's the same value that's going to be in the make template and in the Voiceflow template, because this is where it originates from. So what we need to go ahead and do is put in our authorization key. This is our dialog API key. You need to make sure to copy and paste that into here. Version ID is going to say production, and then what we've got is just this response mapping. It's going to be easiest if you go ahead and just copy this template and use it as is. But so ultimately, we're just checking the user ID. And so then once we check that user ID, we're checking if that chat was found or not found. The reason we're doing this is just to identify if the user existed before or didn't exist before. And based on that, we're going to just give them a little bit of a different starting conversation. So if the user is found, we're going to be sending them a message. And if not, we're just going to be starting that chat up again. And that just means we're generating that user ID now rather than later. So If that all works well, it's going to go and run a Google script, which is meant to format the response that we're getting from Voiceflow in a certain way that we can actually use that data. I just wanted to quickly add in something that I forgot to add in my main recording. With the scripts, Google app script, you need to go and get this URL yourself. So to get this URL, essentially we need to go to scripts.google.com/home. So I'm going to put that in the description. But ultimately you need to go ahead and click new project. And when you hit new project, just go click onto this one that I've already made. You're going to be able to create a project and it's going to load just like this. And what you're going to need to do is add in this script here. So this script is going to be used for processing the message. And so I'll add that script in the description. This was created by OmniFusion. And so once you got that is hit deploy, new deployment. You've just got to go ahead and hit deploy. You got to select it as a web app. And then grab that URL, just copy that URL. And this is the URL that's then used here. So this is that URL all the way up into where it gets to the /exec. And you're essentially just copy pasting your URL here. And then the template will come with user message equals last reply there at the end. So once you've got that going, you're going to have your Google script up and running, and then it'll start working from there. So from here, it's going to go directly to checking if the product name has any value. You can ignore these are just some stuff that just debugging stuff, but if you want to, you need to check if the product name has any value. So if the product name does have a value, it means that it did find products and that it has worked. We're just going to go firstly check if the product count is 1. So we're setting that product count to make sure that this works. And if product count is equal to 1, we're then displaying a carousel feature within Instagram that's got our product image variable set as the image, product name is the name, and price in this little description here. And so that's how we're essentially able to pull all this data through into ManyChat via Make, which came from Voiceflow, and output it directly into Instagram. So we're able to do product count 1, do 1 product. If we see the product count is 2, it's going to do 2 products. And so on. So 3 and 4, 3 products, 4 products. With the 4 products, I do have a 10-second delay. I did find that when it pulls 4 products, once again, like I had earlier with the 5-second delay, you do have to put a bit of a 10-second delay, mainly because all of that request data, for some reason, it just doesn't like doing it so quickly. You can experiment. Maybe you could do 5 on this. But 10 I've found works the most consistently. And essentially that's it. That is the entire template for being able to build a product recommendation system within Instagram. If you did want to do this for Facebook Messenger, essentially it is exactly the same. So I'll just go into my Messenger template and you'll see here it's the same thing. So it is just using the Facebook Messenger function rather than Instagram. So just you click this and you can swap it over to Instagram, and you can go over here and you can just swap these over to Facebook rather than Instagram. So when you right click, when you're actually building this thing out, you can click Messenger or Instagram. And to make sure that you can actually get those, you do need to connect your Meta account, which has got your Facebook and Instagram under it. Once you've done that, you'll be able to build this out and get all that data coming through. If you want to build out a system that's like this or something completely different, you can book a call with me from my Calendly link in the description, and we can have a chat about your project and what you're looking to do, and we can see whether or not I can actually help build that out for you. So if you want to subscribe to this channel, I'm going to be releasing lots of more free templates just like this and others. So you're going to get access to this for completely free, and all you got to do is subscribe and like the video.